Tonight, kids in Florida organized a national protest in just 5 weeks. We'll fill you in on the March for Our Lives.
And later, the details about the Austin bomber's suicide.
Plus, a fire tears through a Russian mall, killing dozens. We got the latest.
Hello, and welcome to MCTV's weekly news update. I'm Natalie Bochi.
And I'm Andrea Fressle. Here are tonight's top stories. More than 200,000 people attended the March for Our Lives demonstration in Washington, D.C. on Saturday. According to Digital Design and Imaging Services, the massive march in Washington estimated 800 other marches were held across the country, including one in Parkland, Florida, where the movement was born following the shooting at Stoneman Douglas High School. In February, Emma Gonzalez, one of the leading voices of the movement since the massacre, held a powerful moment of silence at the podium. This march was organized by the survivors of the Parkland shooting.
The serial bomber in Austin, who had been leaving packages of homemade bombs on doorsteps, committed suicide last Wednesday. He blew himself up with one of his own bombs while being pursued by police. The suspect, Mark Condon, was a quiet loader who liked to debate but had no criminal record. Condon left behind a recording in which he described himself as psychopath, but showed no remorse and gave no motive behind his actions. Although the idea of a racist motivation has been brought up, it hasn't been confirmed. He killed 2 African-American men, injured many others, including an African-American woman and a Hispanic woman, while terrifying tons of people.
At least 64 people are confirmed dead in a fire that tore through a shopping mall in the Cyprian city of Kerma-Ovo. Dozens more, including children, are missing. According to Russian media, the blaze started on the upper floor of the Winter Cherry complex around 5 in the afternoon. This part of the building contains the entertainment complex and cinema, where many of the victims perished. According to preliminary information, the roof collapsed in 2 theaters. The fire is thought to be caused by an electrical fault.
For many college students, spring break is a time for relaxing and hanging out with friends and family back home. However, 10 students gave up their entire spring break to volunteer in Miranda, Mexico, through campus ministry. They did a little sightseeing, visiting Chichen Itza, huge step pyramid and Mayan ruin, and toured Universidad Marista. The rest of the time, the students were helping the community. They made an enclosure for the goats, weeded and dug holes for another enclosure, built a garden from a patch of grass, and created an irrigation system for the garden.
Is spring ever going to come? Here to fill us in on the weather is Jillian McCarthy.
Thank you. Hello everyone and welcome to this week's Highs and Lows Report. I'm Jillian McCarthy. This past week we experienced some colder temperatures and even a few snow showers in the Poughkeepsie area. But over the weekend we saw some sunny skies with temperatures in the high 40s. And yesterday was another sunny day, reaching 50 degrees in the afternoon. This week we're experiencing some warmer temperatures. However, we can expect a few rain showers in the middle of the week. Before we take a closer look at the forecast, here are some worldwide photos. This first one is from Wheatland, California, where a rare tornado touched down on Wednesday evening. Winds reached up to 85 miles per hour, and neighbors reported that the tornado came directly overhead within 15 minutes. Residents were advised to take shelter during the warning. There was only minor damage, however, and the storm moving north at 20 miles per hour ultimately dissipated. The next image is from Sochi, Russia. And as you can see, the unusual snow conditions did not stop these dedicated skiers from enjoying the slopes. Orange-tinted snow covered parts of Eastern Europe on Friday, creating quite peculiar views and bewildering people in countries like Russia, Bulgaria, Ukraine, Romania, and Moldova. Experts say the phenomenon appears about every 5 years, and this particular case was caused by Sahara sandstorms mixing with snow and rain. Pictures of the unusual snow surfaced all over social media, with people joking about skiing on Mars. Now focusing on weather on our neck of the woods. For today's weather, we reached a high of 51 degrees and a low of 35, nearing around the average of 52 and 29 degrees. Today's sunrise was at 6:46 a.m. and sunset was at 7:15 p.m. Tonight we're looking at rain showers, with a low of 35 degrees and a 70% chance of precipitation with winds south at 5 miles per hour. Looking ahead for tomorrow, we're seeing rain again, but in the morning with a low of 38 degrees. There is a 20% chance of precipitation with winds at 4 miles per hour. Now taking a look at the 7-day forecast, we will be seeing a bit of those warmer springtime temperatures, but rain is anticipated for the midweek. In fact, on Wednesday and Thursday, we're predicting rain showers with a 40 to 60% chance of precipitation over those 2 days. But Friday will be the warmest day out of the week with a high of 61 degrees. The weekend is looking mild with temperatures in the low 50s on Saturday and Sunday. We're predicting sunny and partly cloudy skies for our holiday weekend ahead. Slowly but surely, we're getting that springtime weather we all were waiting for. I'm Jillian McCarthy, and that concludes our weather report for the week. Thank you.
The world's last white male rhino died last Tuesday. Unfortunately, the white rhino species will become extinct due to the incapability of reproduction with only 2 females left. Sudan, the 45-year-old rhino, lived in Kenya, surrounded by armed guards days leading up to his death in order to protect him from poachers. It was reported that Sudan had been in poor health due to age-related issues and multiple infections. In the 20th century, about 500,000 rhinos roamed freely in Africa and Asia. But poaching and habitat destruction caused the number of rhinos to decrease to a staggering 70,000 by 1970. Due to the tragic death of Sudan the rhino, many conservatives are taking this act as a warning to prevent more extinctions from occurring around the world. Although this is only a small part of this huge extinction crisis going on, many are making an effort to spread awareness and educate those on these rising issues.
William Stramplin, the former boss of sports medicine doctor Larry Nassar at Michigan State University, was arrested Monday afternoon. In October 2016, when Stramplin was dean of Michigan State College of Osteopathic Medicine, he told students and administration that he didn't believe that the woman who accused Dr. Nassar of sexual abuse after Nassar's arrest. Dr. Stramplin reportedly said, "Patients lie to get doctors in trouble. I don't think any of these women were sexually assaulted by Larry." And when it came to firing Nassar, Stramplin was reluctant. Last month, university officials said that they were in the process of firing the doctor because it's questionable whether his personal conduct has met the school standards for many years.
Yesterday, porn star Stormy Daniels filed a defamation lawsuit against President Trump's personal attorney, Michael Cohen. In October 27th, Cohen paid Daniels $130,000 to sign a non-disclosure agreement, which prevented her from discussing her 2006 affair with Trump. In January of this year, a Wall Street Journal article revealed the details of the affair, the NDA, and the hush money. For years, Daniel denied it, but since the release of the article has said it's true. The goal of this new lawsuit will be to get Cohen and Trump under oath during a deposition to reveal the truth about the affair. This came only day after Tell All 60 Minutes special aired on CBS.
Apple recently submitted a proposal to add 13 emojis that represent people with disabilities. The proposal was sent to the nonprofit organization that creates the universal guidelines for emojis. Unicode Corristorum, these emojis would include a prosthetic leg, a person in a wheelchair, and an ear with an hearing aid, among many others. According to a CNN article, Apple talked with leading organizations that help people with disabilities, including the National Association of the Deaf and the Cerebral Palsy Foundation, to help put the proposal together. Apple said while the 13 emojis obviously don't encompass all disabilities, but it's a start. No, I think it's really incredible that they're doing it. It just brings such a light on people.
I really like the idea. I think, it definitely starts up conversation about this.
No,
and
exactly. That's what you need.
Everyone should be included, for sure.
No, of course, and I think it's really shining a light since these are people that are a lot of times overlooked and, they don't have a voice in the society.
Exactly, so putting them in as emoji, it's a great
It's a good
start.
millennials thing, too, since that's what, people are always on their
Yes.
phones, especially children.
Definitely.
So it's just such an incredible thing.
Definitely, I agree.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah.
I mean, especially, it's just such an interesting topic.
Yes, definitely. From March Madness to the NFL, Jacob Young has the latest for us in sports world.
Well, good evening, everyone. I'm Jacob Young with This Week in Sports. The field is set for this year's Final Four in San Antonio. Like any other year, the madness is in full swing, but that doesn't mean we should look past the Loyola Chicago Ramblers, tied for the lowest seed ever in the Final Four. They won their first 3 rounds by a combined 4 points before knocking off Kansas State in the Elite Eight. Loyola will take on 3-seed Michigan for a bid in the championship game. And on the other side of the bracket, it's a battle of one seeds, Villanova against Kansas. Nova has breezed through their region, but Kansas needed overtime to get by Duke in the last round. Malik Newman scored a career-high 32, and he will have to have another big game to get by the favored Wildcats. The winners will meet early next week to crown a national champion. Odell Beckham Jr. wants to be the highest-paid player in the NFL, but the Giants are not seeing eye to eye with him on this one. OBJ's off-field drama questions his maturity to get a major contract. A video leaked showing him and a woman laying on a bed with lines of a white substance. This does not help his case. But if New York wants to see him on the field at the start of the 2018 season, a deal may need to get done. Beckham missed OTAs last season and could do the same this year. Owner John Mara recently said no player is untouchable in a trade, raising questions on Beckham's future with Big Blue. After Stephen Curry was diagnosed with an MCL sprain, Steve Kerr said there is no way he'll be playing for the first round of the NBA playoffs. The two-time MVP is hoping to prove his coach wrong and return before expected. But this is familiar territory for the Warriors after Kevin Durant missed time for an MCL sprain in last year's playoffs. Curry was averaging over 26 points and 6 assists per game, and he'll be reevaluated in 3 weeks. Currently, Golden State sits comfortably with the 2 seed in the Western Conference, 5.5 games behind the Houston Rockets. And the Marist baseball team won their first conference series of the season against Monmouth over the weekend. In the rubber match on Sunday, junior Randy Taveras lined a walk-off single into left field in the bottom of the 10th. Marist jumped out to a 3-0 lead thanks in part to a solo shot by freshman Reese Artemage, the first of his collegiate career. But Monmouth rallied in the 9th to send it into extras before Taveras ended it. Sophomore Connor McNamara pitched over 6 scoreless innings for Marist. That wraps it up for sports this week. Let's send it back over to the news desk.
A mother and her 4 children were hit by a truck while crossing Route 52 Sunday evening. The mother, Zuyama Lopez, and her 10-month-old son were killed. The truck driver, a Fressle resident, did not see the family and struck them. The other 3 children were taken to Westchester Medical Center for their injuries. The cause of the accident is still under investigation.
Former Italian Prime Minister Silvio Berlusconi has been ordered to stand trial in May for bribing 4 women to lie for him under oath about his relations with a teenage prostitute. In a separate ongoing case, Berlusconi allegedly paid another 24 witnesses to lie. It is possible the 2 cases may be combined. This will be Mr. Berlusconi's 24th trial. The 81-year-old is the head of the Forza Italian political party and served as the Prime Minister of Italy 3 years.
This past weekend, the walkway over the Hudson in Poughkeepsie had over 7,000 people march in support of the victims of the Parkland, Florida shooting just last month. The march was also used to send a message to local politicians about the prevention of gun violence in the area. Poughkeepsie was just one of over 800 events that took place as a part of the March for Our Lives movement over the weekend. After the march, a second rally at Poughkeepsie High School took place where locals held hands around the school as part to surround with the school movement.
About 20 years ago, someone discovered a mummified skeleton in La Nora, part of the Atacama Desert in northern Chile. The skeleton, which was named Ata, resembled a complete human, but was only 6 inches long. This spurred rumors of aliens. However, genetic research has revealed the truth. Last Thursday, scientists explained that the skeleton was that of a human female fetus who had many genetic defects, including scoliosis and other bone disorders, as well as a genetic issue that would have made it impossible to breathe normally. Perhaps the most interesting mutation is one that seems to have caused the fetus to age incredibly rapid, which is why she had the bone structure of a 6-year-old, as opposed to a 6-month-old. Since La Nora was an abandoned nitrate mining town, scientists believe that the high levels of exposure to nitrate, which is known to cause birth defects, led to the genetic mutations.
From movies to TV and music, our Savannah Tribble has got it all covered in this week's entertainment report.
Hi, my name's Savannah Trimble, and welcome to This Week in Entertainment. To start off, Beyonce and Jay-Z have announced yet another tour. It's called On the Run Tour 2. The tickets may cost you an arm and a leg, but the couple promises to never disappoint their fans, as there will be bigger sets and the Beehive will never be disappointed. Of course, the pre-sales sold out immediately. Yes, immediately. New performance dates have been announced due to high demand, but it's still going to be tricky to get these tickets. This is truly an iconic duo, so the tickets will definitely be worth the money. Netflix has renewed some of our favorite shows for new seasons. Some of these shows include the legendary Queer Eye and One Day at a Time, which both have great LGBT+ representation. The fact that the shows like these are getting renewed is like a reminder that Hollywood and the entertainment industry are getting more diverse. One Day at a Time is about a Cuban-American family and is honestly one of my favorite shows at the moment. Its third season is to be released in 2019, and the unscripted Queer Eye's second season is yet to be announced. Other shows that are unscripted and ready for a second season are Dope, Drug Lords, Nailed It, and Toys That Made Us. I don't know about you, but I'm adding all of these shows to my list to watch later. Season 14 of The Voice aired February 26th, featuring new judge and mentor Kelly Clarkson. She joins forces with Alicia Keys, Blake Shelton, and Adam Levine. While Blake is usually a shoo-in for all the country singers, Kelly has been battling with Blake to coach the most talented country singers this season. As you may know, Kelly's mother-in-law is Reba McEntire, so she definitely knows her country. While Kelly has strayed a bit from her roots of American Idol, The Voice is competing yet again with the original singing talent show. The judges on American Idol reboot are Luke Bryan, Lionel Richie, and Katy Perry, which has already caught some headlines for many reasons. In one episode, a contestant, Benjamin Glaze, who was 19 years old at the time, disclosed that he had never been in a relationship, nor had he had his first kiss. To this, Katy welcomed him up to the judges' table and kissed him on the cheek. Harmless, right? Well, Katy complained that she didn't hear a smooch, and then when he went to kiss her cheek again, she moved her head and kissed him on the lips. He fell in shock, but played it off. But later he told people that he didn't really like that Katy stole his first kiss. Not a good look for the reboot, if you ask me. This has been This Week in Entertainment with me, Savannah Trimble. Thank you for watching.
Ever wondered how much it cost for a family of 4 to live in the Hudson Valley? The Economic Policy Institute updated its family budget calculator, which estimates how much money a family needs to live comfortably. The calculator factors in expenses such as housing, food, transportation, healthcare, childcare, and other basic needs for a family of 4 to have a sufficient standard of living. The numbers are quite high in the area. Putnam County was highest with $138,000. Dutchess was 4th with $170,000, and Savannah was with the lowest of $87,000. According to the EPI, many families don't earn enough to meet their needs.
On March 20th, the Marist Student Programming Council announced who would be performing at the annual Marist Spring Concert. To the surprise of many Marist students, it was announced that there would be 2 concerts this year on April 19th. Rapper A Boogie with Da Hoodie will be performing, followed by country singer Hunter Hayes on April 21st.
Last Thursday, a reception has been held in the Murray Student Center to celebrate the opening of the student exhibition For the Record. For the Record is a Marist Circle initiative that highlights the incredible stories of Marist students. Beautifully done, large photographs line the wall during the event, revealing the cast of Marist students who are featured in this edition. Each of the photos is accompanied by a small sign that summarizes the student's story and highlights one of his or her quotes. The exhibit will run through April 8th. Have you had the opportunity to check it out?
I was looking in the student center. I actually have a girl I went to high school.
Really?
Yeah, and another girl I knew in my freshman year. So it was really interesting.
It's actually amazing. Honestly, I think they should keep it there all
I
year,
know.
because I mean, it is called the student center.
Exactly,
so
and it's so cool
why
to
not
like
showcase
read the story if you read when you look.
Definitely.
It's so
For
cool.
sure.
No,
Yeah.
it's so interesting, and it's like so cool to see that these are your peers. That these
Right.
people are
No,
just
I
doing
agree.
incredible
Yes.
things. It's so interesting, you know. No, it's such a cool. I wonder who came up with. I mean, it's a very interesting idea. I think, yeah,
Definitely.
totally
I think
interesting.
they should keep it all year round, for sure.
I think it's definitely going to be something to talk about
Right. And
because
it's cool for open houses as well.
no,
Yes.
exactly, and it really just shows the diversity that Marist is bringing.
For
Since,
sure.
yeah, of course. Well, that's all we have for you this week. I'm Andrea Fressle.
And I'm Natalie Bochi. Thanks for watching, and good night.